Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City, into a family that would profoundly shape both his worldview and future ambitions. His life story, often framed as a dramatic ascent from business magnate to global political figure, began in a household defined by discipline, real estate ambition, and a strict drive toward achievement. Yet, beyond the public persona, beyond headlines, corporate towers, and political battles lies a complex evolution rooted in immigrant dreams, family pressures, early rebellion, and a relentless appetite for competition. Trump's paternal lineage traces back to Germany. His grandfather, Friedrich Trump, originally Friedrich Drumpf, immigrated to the United States in 1885 at age 16. Seeking opportunity during America's industrial expansion, Friedrich worked as a barber before traveling west to take advantage of the Alaska and Klondike gold rush economy. He operated restaurants and lodging establishments ventures that set a foundation for future entrepreneurial pursuit. His grandmother, Elizabeth Christ Trump, alongside Friedrich, later established E. Trump & Son, the real estate company that would evolve into the Trump family business. After Friedrich's early death from influenza in 1918, Elizabeth continued the Campania remarkable undertaking for a woman in the early 20th century. This legacy of family enterprise, maternal strength behind closed doors, and a belief in bold financial steps formed part of the family DNA Donald inherited. On his mother's side, Trump's roots reach Scotland. Marianne MacLeod emigrated from the Isle of Lewis, a remote, Gaelic-speaking island. Her upbringing in a modest, tightly knit fishing village would contrast starkly with the wealth and glamour of the life she would later enter in New York. Yet her influence, her faith, traditional values, and quiet resilience became a subtle but important aspect of Trump's upbringing. Trump was the fourth of 5 children: Marianne, Fred Jr., Donald, Elizabeth, and Robert. His father, Fred Trump, was a driven, disciplined developer who built affordable housing in New York's outer boroughs. Fred's strict work ethic, frugality, and demand for excellence created a firm household structure. Donald would later describe his father as both role model and powerful authority figures, someone who rewarded boldness but demanded results. Fred Trump emphasized financial prudence, competition, and toughness. Praise was rare. Achievement was expected. Donald absorbed these values early, shaping his lifelong desire to be viewed not merely as successful, but as the best, the biggest, and the boldest in any room. As a child, Donald was energetic, assertive, and at times unruly. He admired leaders, preferred the spotlight, and gravitated toward commanding attention rather than following rules. Teachers described him as bright but easily distracted, restless, and more interested in influence than obedience. He enjoyed physical activity, competition, and showing confidence, a combination that foreshadowed his future persona. His mother, softer and more nurturing, instilled social manners, church attendance, and traditional values. From her, he adopted a sense of ceremony, pageantry, formal presence. Presentational traits reflected later in his branded lifestyle and political rallies. By age 13, Trump's behavior prompted his parents to enroll him in the New York Military Academy, NYMA. The decision was not punishment, but discipline building. There, Trump encountered a structured, militaristic environment emphasizing hierarchy, punctuality, and physical rigor. Rather than resist, he thrived. He excelled in athletics, especially baseball, and became a student leader. The academy reinforced discipline and competitiveness. He learned to command, delegate, and project authority skills that would later define his boardroom style and public presence. Trump himself later credited NYMA for giving him focus, ambition, and a respect for leadership power structures. Yet the academy also fueled his belief in dominance as a success strategy. He became known not for humility, but for confidence, strategic charm, and an almost instinctive belief in winning. After military school, Trump attended Fordham University before transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, often highlighted as one of the top business programs in the country. He studied economics, absorbing lessons in finance, investment, and real estate valuation. At Wharton, Trump was not widely known for socializing or student politics. He focused on building his knowledge base, networking, and preparing for entry into the family business. Unlike many classmates planning corporate careers, Trump already envisioned himself as a real estate leader armed with family connections, early mentorship, and inherited ambition. Throughout his youth, Trump modeled himself after bold entrepreneurs and public winners. He admired strong personalities, glamorous lifestyles, and symbolic displays of power. His mindset was shaped by belief in branding and public image, comfort with risk, focus on large-scale success rather than incremental gains, desire for visibility and status, competitive instinct, win at all costs. From his father, he learned real estate fundamentals and deal-making pragmatism. From his mother, he absorbed a taste for presentation, glittering surfaces, dramatic entrances, and ceremonial style. Together, these influences set the stage for a life where business and persona would become inseparable. After graduating from the Wharton School in 1968, Donald Trump officially joined E. Trump & Son, stepping into the structured, profit-driven world his father had built. While Fred Trump specialized in affordable housing in Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, Donald had different ambitions. His eyes were fixed across the East River Manhattan, the symbol of elite wealth, skyscrapers, and global business prestige. Entering the family business, Donald's early years in the family business were a training ground. Fred Trump exposed him to development, finance, and the art of negotiation. Donald learned how to navigate New York's zoning and political environment, techniques for construction financing, value engineering to reduce costs, tenant relations, and property management. But where Fred operated quietly and conservatively, Donald was drawn to scale, glamour, and the spotlight. Trump saw Manhattan as both a business opportunity and a stage. He believed that building bold properties in the city's most visible locations could both make and define him. This mentality marked a departure from his father's philosophie d'Anal, pursued image as aggressively as income. In the early 1970s, Trump began cultivating relationships with bankers, media figures, and city officials. He also developed one of his strongest lifelong business skills, selling a vision before the product exists. He once remarked, "If you're going to think anyway, you might as well think big." This mindset guided his entrance into Manhattan real estate. Trump's breakthrough came with the Commodore Hotel redevelopment near Grand Central Terminal. The property was aging and losing money. Trump negotiated a joint venture with Hyatt Hotels Corporation, a 40-year tax abatement from NYC, controversial but legal, financing based on future revenue rather than existing value. In 1980, the renovated hotel opened as the Grand Hyatt New York, wrapped in reflective glass, a modern aesthetic that would become Trump's signature. It was a commercial success and, more importantly, a media triumph. Newspapers credited Trump with helping revive a struggling city. From then on, he wasn't just a developer, he was a public figure in the making. Trump Tower and the birth of the Trump brand. In 1983, Trump completed what would become his signature property, Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue. The building represented luxury and excess, featuring a gold and marble atrium, high-end retail stores, celebrity residences, a dramatic waterfall centerpiece. Trump Tower became synonymous with Trump's public identity: golden, dramatic, and impossible to ignore. The project turned him into a Manhattan star, a celebrity developer before that concept truly existed. Trump was a media expert and brand genius. Trump had an instinctive understanding of the media. He loved making headlines, attending exclusive social events, and portraying himself as a bold billionaire visionary. He built his brand around the following elements: wealth, power, luxury, determination, public visibility. But he also managed to generate controversy, keeping his name in the spotlight even during economic downturns. Trump's early media strategy was simple yet effective: always be talked about. Visibility equals power. This philosophy later translated into television and politics. During the 1980s, Trump expanded aggressively, moving into casinos in Atlantic City, luxury apartment buildings, hotels and resorts, airlines, Trump Shuttle, Miss Universe and Miss USA pageants, sports ownership, USFL's New Jersey Generals. His empire grew rapidly, so did his profile. He appeared constantly in society columns and business magazines, often photographed at glamorous events or with celebrities. Drive, ego, and risk-taking. Trump's approach to business relied on large loans, leveraged assets, and optimistic projections. His philosophy was go big or go home, fueled by confidence in his instincts, belief in negotiation leverage, desire for marquee properties, ability to create media excitement. Supporters saw him as bold and visionary. Critics called him reckless and over-leveraged. Both were right. His risk-taking produced major wins and major losses. Early controversies. Trump's ascent came with disputes and scrutiny. 1. Housing discrimination case 1973. The Trump Company faced allegations of racial discrimination in rental practices. The case settled with no admission of wrongdoing, but it marked Trump's first major public legal battle. 2. Atlantic City problems. Trump gambled big on casino investments, acquiring Trump Plaza, Trump Castle, Trump Taj Mahal. These properties brought fame but also debt. While they showcased his glamorous brand, they struggled financially, ultimately contributing to his corporate bankruptcies in the 1990s. Trump mixed business ambition with cultivated myth. He projected billionaire status, used strategic media leaks, and promoted himself relentlessly. Yet critics argued his wealth was exaggerated and his empire fragile. He married Ivana Zelníková in Edo TT. Ivana Trump, a former Czech athlete and model, became a key figure in Trump's early life. Ivana was active in the Trump Organization, holding key roles in Trump Tower interiors, Plaza Hotel management, Trump Castle operations. They became a New York power couple and frequently appeared in magazines and society pages. Trump and Ivana had 3 children: Donald Jr. 1977, Ivanka 1981, Eric 1984. Together, they forged both a family and a dynastic image. By the late 1980s, Trump was no longer just a developer. He was a brand, and, increasingly, a celebrity. His book, The Art of the Deal, 1987, became a bestseller. Talk shows sought him out. He appeared in movies and TV cameos. He cultivated relationships with public figures across business, entertainment, and politics. His unique combination of wealth, bravado, and showmanship laid the foundation for his future rise in entertainment and politics. While Donald Trump is widely recognized as a real estate mogul, former U.S. president, and public figure, much of what lies beneath his public persona remains less discussed. What he does for pleasure, what he fears, and parts of his private behavior that don't make the headlines. Hobby, golf, sports, and competition. One of Trump's most visible leisure activities is golf. He owns numerous golf courses worldwide and has said Trump's lesser-publicized pastime includes licensing and branding ventures from Trump dolls to stakes to memorabilia. For instance, a Donald Trump doll was licensed in 2004 with recordings of his voice. This hobby of turning image into product shows how deeply he treats his persona as a business asset. He also reportedly collects items that emphasize champion status, reflecting his admiration for winners and luxury. Rumors suggest he has a private collection of silver, vintage watches, and unique artifacts tied to his brand. For a man who projects confidence, there are indications of deeper fears. One area is loss of status and public humiliation. The infamous 2007 tape scandal and ensuing media scrutiny may have reinforced a fear of being powerless. Another fear relates to physical vulnerability. In 2020, Trump contracted COVID-19, and his health became a national concern. While not a phobia per se, it exposed his mortality, less publicly discussed. According to some sources, his frequent golf retreats seemed to serve not just leisure, but escape from pressure, suggesting an underlying anxiety about constant scrutiny. Also, the Paris robbery at his Mar-a-Lago estate 2019 reportedly changed his relationship to security, privacy, and material possessions, a traumatic event that underlies a large-scale fear of intrusion. One rarely noted trait: Trump reportedly enjoys luxury rail travel and vintage rail cars. While not widely publicized, insiders say he once restored a private rail car for leisure travel, combining nostalgia with exclusivity. Another, his friendship network includes elite dog show communities, not commonly linked with a business tycoon president image. For example, one socialite described Trump's quiet admiration for her champion poodles at Mar-a-Lago, The New Yorker. And though he projects brashness, Trump also has routine habits: early morning reflection, reading classic strategy texts like The Art of War or The Prince reported favorites, The Times of India. These hidden sides show a man who isn't only about boardrooms or rallies. He craves legacy, symbolism, mastery, and control. Why these matter for your audience? For your video audience, presenting these lesser-known elements deepens the narrative. It shows Trump not only as a public spectacle, but as a competitor, strategist, and human being with ambitions, fears, rituals, and habits. It opens a richer, more textured story, one that goes beyond politics into persona, psychology, and identity. Whether you admire him or disagree with him, one thing is undeniable: Donald Trump never goes unnoticed. He is a figure defined by ambition, risk, resilience, and endless debate. A businessman who turned his name into an empire. A television personality who became the most powerful office holder in the world. A symbol of success to some, and a symbol of division to others. Now, it's your turn. If you had the influence, wealth, and global platform Trump built over decades, what would you do with it? Would you pursue power? Would you build an empire? Or would you choose a quieter, simpler path? Tell us in the comments. We want to hear your story. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a life filled with ambition, power, struggle, and reinvention, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, so you never miss another story of the world's most fascinating and powerful figures. This is Deep Rhythm, where every life beats with a story, and every story leaves a mark. See you in the next video.
to be continued.